Hello, this is Miss Delholm here, and this is going to be a tutorial video on adding mixed numbers. So you see how this is a whole number and this is a fraction? That means it is a mixed number. And this problem is like number 6 on the homework. It's not the same numbers, but it's a similar process. So first, I'm going to circle my whole numbers because I focus on those last. So that means I need to make my multiples charts for 8 and 3 to find a common denominator, which I already did. Okay, and we can see I had to go pretty down for 3. Okay, because if I'd only gone to 4, we wouldn't have seen anything in common on the right. So if you do need to go further down, it's always going to be for the smaller number. So if we look, it's 24, that's in common. So that means my fraction that has a denominator of 8, I multiply by 3. Oops, move this up. So 6/8 times 3 equals, 6 times 3 is 18, 8 times 3 is 24, plus, we're going to do 1/3 up here. So 1/3, I'm going to multiply by 8. Which I already know is going to give me 24, and that's what I want. I want the same denominator. So if you are multiplying and you get a different denominator, you did something wrong. Okay, so I only add the top, which is the numerator, and that's going to be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So 26 over 24 is, I don't know if you can see it, that's what we call an improper fraction. So that means I'm going to need a top in, bottom out. I'm going to need to divide it to turn it back into a mixed number. So 26 over 24, top goes in, bottom goes out. So if you need to make a quick multiples chart, you can. 1 times 24 is 24. You should know that 2 times 24 is 48 though, because 24 plus 24 is 48, so that's too big. So 24 goes into 2 0 times. And 24 can fit into 26 only once. 6 minus 4 is 2. Okay, 2 minus 2 is 0. And let's see, where's my marker? So now I make my check. So my answer here is going to be 1 and 2 over 24. So don't forget, this is another whole number. So when I go back to, I'll leave it here for a moment. When I go back to my original problem, and let's see, this equals 1 and 2 over 24. I now have another whole number I need to add. So don't forget that, because 26 over 24 equals 1 and 2 over 24. So now I have 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So that's 6 and 2 over 24. But I still have one more step. If this top number is not 1, you always need to check and see if you can simplify. So if I look at my multiplication chart and I look in the 2's, I do see both 24 and 2, so that means I can divide by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 24 divided by 2, we look on here, I go to the 2's, that's what I'm dividing by. I find 24, backwards L, it's 12. And remember, you can think of it as backwards multiplication, because 12 times 2 equals 24. So my final answer would be 6 and 1/12. Now, this time to simplify, I only had to divide once. But go back and look on my simplifying video and you'll see sometimes you do have to divide more than once to make it as tiny as it goes. So like I said, this one is like problem number 6 on the homework. For the subtraction, it's all the same process, and none of them require borrowing. So I'm not going to do a subtraction example. But I will show you this, and you can pause the video to kind of see them all. Oops. This is the answer bank. So if you do not see your answer on here, that's probably because you needed to simplify. And it's a really pretty day outside. There's Bob.